I told my team yesterday we're one game out of second and one game out of 10th. The league is very deep and talented, and the teams are similar in their capabilities. Some teams have a little more physical talent. Some teams have a little more skill. Some teams have more size. Some teams have a unique style. But I think we're all very competitive, and every night, if you play well, you give yourself a chance. But if you don't play well, you're not going to win.
Does that make the seeding in a tournament even more important then?
Say it again.
Does that make the seeding in the tournament, like if you get the top four, get an extra bye, at least you get four?
Well, I think the byes are critical. You know, if you're one of the top four teams and you don't have to play on Tuesday or Wednesday, you start your tournament on Thursday, you're in a much better position to win the tournament than if you have to play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Can you talk about, going into tomorrow's game, after what happened up there, with the collapse in the second half, what's the mindset of this team right now going in to play them again?
Oh, we collapsed?
Nice way to say it.
I thought we played very well in the first half, and we didn't play very well in the second half. And I just finished saying, if you don't play well, you're not going to win. So we need to put two halves together and play a very solid 40 minutes, or however long it takes, because the other night, 40 minutes wasn't enough. I had to go into overtime to beat Virginia. But I think from a coach's standpoint, we've improved. We've gotten better each week. We've had our games where we didn't handle the ball very well. We had way too many turnovers, and that didn't allow us to play defense because the turnovers led to fast break baskets by the opponent before our defense could get back. But we're at our best when we're functioning, very simple, and executing very well on offense. Because when we're doing that, we get to set our defense. We're pretty good at defending.
What have you seen from Duke since the last time you faced them? And obviously their players, personnel changed, minutes.
Well, the biggest thing is Coach K is back, and they're getting more time with a healthy team. And Jason Tatum has clearly elevated his game, the experience that he's earned from November till now has been significant. And then their bench is now, I think, really solidified. His starting lineup and the rotation, you can see the pattern to it now, whereas before there were a lot of changes because of injury. For a while, Emile Jefferson was not there. For a while, some of the freshmen were not there. But now they're healthy and playing very, very well.
What kind of atmosphere are you expecting, or would you like to see tomorrow?
Well, we expect it'll be electric, that the students will be turning out in large numbers, that the fans will know Duke is coming to town. It's on CBS. It's a nationally televised game, and I would expect it to be very much like our home game against North Carolina.
On top of everything with it being Duke and, you guys are making that push for seeding and the tournament, it's senior day. And, that moment for Davon and Murph, what have they meant to this program?
Davon, I think, is one of the unique student athletes playing college basketball, that academics really are the priority for him. He's a tremendous student. I've told people this who have ever asked about him. I said, you want to get to know him. He's going to be an entrepreneur. He's going to be a very, very successful businessman once his playing days are over. But because of his dedication, not only to schoolwork but to basketball, he's just gotten better and better as a player in every category. And I believe he'll play in the NBA. I think he's that good. I think he should be an all-conference player this year. He can defend. He rebounds. He shoots the three, puts the ball on the ground and gets to the basket. He makes his free throws. The other night he guarded London Parantes, who I think is a all-league player, and did a fantastic job on him. And he's done that throughout his career. So I just think if we could have a whole team of Davon Reeds, we'd be very, very fortunate, because he's a role model for what a college student athlete should be. He's been a great leader in our program. He became captain. He was one of our captains as a sophomore, which I'd never done before. And he's been captain for the last 3 years, and he has provided great leadership to this young team.
Coach, the win against Virginia, you could say that your team showed a lot of grit at the end of not only regulation but overtime. Did you see them make any step forward with all the young players in that type of environment, and that type of team to play under pressure like that?
Well, our point of emphasis going into the game was to believe in yourself, to play with great confidence, both you, the individual, and collectively as a team. And when you believe in yourself and you have confidence, the score takes care of itself. So there was a time in the first half we fell behind, I think 19-12 or something like that. We came back and led at the half 2019 and held Virginia without a point for like the last 5 or 6 minutes. In the second half, it was the same way. At a timeout, we were down 9. I can't remember exactly how much time was left, but it was under 10 minutes. And I said to the team, we're right where we were in the first half. We came back and took the lead, and that's what we're going to do this half. But you guys got to stick together. You got to believe in yourself. You got to have faith that we can overcome this deficit. Go out and play the way you're capable of playing, and the score will take care of itself. And they did. They didn't panic. They really shared the ball well. It's a different game when you play Virginia. The tempo is much smaller. There's fewer possessions. Defense is at a premium. At one point in the game, I turned to my coaches very late in the game, maybe about 5 minutes left in the game. I turned to my coach and I said, this reminds me of our George Mason versus Wilmington game where we ended up beating them in the CAA championship 35-33. And that's what I was thinking, that those games, they're so hotly contested at the defensive end of the floor, and it's very hard to make shots one right after the other. Your possessions oftentimes will be you make a shot and then you don't score for 3 possessions. Then you make another shot, don't score for 4 or 5 possessions. And then you get fouled, you make a free throw, you don't score for 2 or 3 possessions. It really tests your patience. It tests your discipline, because your defense is on defense for a very long period of time. Virginia doesn't shoot in the first 23 seconds. They shoot in the last 7. So you've got to be very focused to keep guarding them for that length of time.
Jim, you get Jaquan back tomorrow. And he went on social media the other night and apologized to fans. You know, what have you seen from him through the course of the suspension? And, you know, what do you expect from him when he gets back out there tomorrow?
Well, I thought the most important thing was his body language when we played Clemson on Saturday. Anybody who noticed our bench while the game was going on would see Jaquan Newton standing up and clapping and cheering and smiling for his team. And to us, attitude is the most important quality, that you have to have a positive attitude. So what he's dealing with is adversity, and you have to have the ability to overcome adversity, whether it's in a game falling behind by 9 at Virginia or being suspended for 3 games and then having to come back and earn your place back in the rotation. So I told Jaquan yesterday he'll play, but he's coming off a suspension, but he will not start. The team that has started the last 3 games will continue to start. And the very simple reason is because they're doing well. And I like the chemistry and I like the way they're playing. But Jaquan is a tremendous basketball player, and we need him to play and play well.
How did he take that news?
He was very good. He's got a great attitude.
Have you seen Bruce just 1, 2, 3 thrusts into this world? How do you think he has handled all that?
Boy, you couldn't ask for a player to do any better than he's done. He's run our team. He's handled the ball, shot the ball, passed the ball, defended the ball, rebounded the ball, and he does it with a smile on his face. And his teammates love him. They love hanging out with him on the court, off the court. You know, he's really got a lot of special qualities. If you started looking for a player who demonstrated the personal characteristics of a charismatic person, Bruce Brown has that. You know, I think in terms of, you know, John F. Kennedy could mesmerize a crowd. Bill Clinton or Barack Obama, in speaking to an audience, could mesmerize them with their words. Bruce Brown kind of does that with his smile, like a Denzel Washington or a Will Smith, somebody whose personality jumps out at you. Magic Johnson, those kind of guys, and Steph Curry. I think he falls very much into that category. You're born with that. Maybe his mom taught him that, but I couldn't teach that to my kids. Not that kind of exhilaration and energy every single day. You know, some people have it from time to time, and I'd like to think I have it from time to time, but not like him every single day. He smiles, he's happy. That's great fun to be around.
Any significant difference in your approach facing Duke this time as opposed to last time to make sure you get those two halves of?
Yeah, the focus is on putting 40 minutes together.
As your coach, is it harder or easier when because you've only been playing with like I think 7 or 8 players each of the last few games. Is that easier with the rotation, or
Yes.
would you rather have a deeper?
No, it's easy. You only have 7. We actually have 8 scholarship players, but we have 4 front court guys that have been rotating. So that hasn't changed. What's changed is the backcourt. Without Jaquan, we really have only had 3.5 guards. And we start Bruce and Davon at the 1-2, and we bring DJ off the bench at the 1-2. And then we have Anthony Lawrence at the 3, but he also plays the 4. So it's been pretty easy subbing for me. It becomes actually more challenging the deeper team you have. But, I'm sorry. It's Donald Trump. I'm not going to answer that.
Is he coming again tomorrow?
He's supposed to be in South Florida this week.
But what I was saying is in a game like Virginia, Clemson, or Georgia Tech, it's a fewer possession, slower paced game. 7 guys is enough, as long as you don't get in serious foul trouble. But against Duke, and we play Florida State next Saturday, you need depth, because the pace of the game is so fast and furious, and the level of intensity at the defensive end of the floor is not a half-court game, it's full court. Your most important thing you can do is get back defensively, because they're going to try to score in the first 5 seconds.
I know you gave the guys a couple days off this week. How important was it for them to just kind of get their legs back?
Well, we'll see. I think it's really important to get 2 days off in a row. And we did that. And then yesterday we had a nice practice. Hopefully we'll have a good practice today. But I think at this time of year, energy is what you need. You're not changing the offense or the defense. It's just how well you can play it and execute it. And that's based on your energy level. And hopefully we'll have a lot of energy tomorrow.
How are your legs after dancing? Monday?
Yeah. Fortunately, all I had to do was move my arms.
So nothing planned if you beat Duke.
No, first of all, nothing is ever planned like that. That actually,
You walked in looking like you knew what you were about to do, though.
no, I didn't. I had no idea what was going on behind the doors. But once I saw the players dancing and having a good time, I just wanted to join in and have fun. I think it's very, very important for players, all athletes, to know, as serious as their participation is in athletics and the level of competition we play at is the highest level, it still needs to be fun. You still need to enjoy it. You need to look forward to practice and the games. And if the players want to celebrate after the game, you know, I'm all for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on, Gary.